Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Shakiluzzaman, ID 6184. Today our presentation topic is Transport Layer Protocols, TCP and UDP. Next slide. I'm here with my fellow teammate MD Sabbir Hossain, Kaji Fahim Abrar, Tanjir Ahmed Topu and Mirza Anna Pravakta. This is our content slide. Now I will be discussing a critical component of networking, the transport layer. As part of both the OSI and TCP models, the transport layer plays a vital role in ensuring reliable communication between devices across a network. When we sending an email, streaming a video or browsing the web, the transport layer is working behind the skin to make sure our data get into its destination accurately and efficiently. In simple terms, the transport layer is like a well-organized delivery service for data. It takes large amount of information from the application layer, breaks it down into a smaller manageable chunk, and ensure that each piece is sent correctly in the right order. Next slide. Now the key functions of the transport layer. Segmentation and reassembly. Divide large data into a smaller segment for transmission and reassemble receipt segments into the original data format. Then error detection and correction. Detects error in transmitted data and ensure reliable delivery. Then flow control. Manage the rate of data transmission to prevent overwhelming the receiver. Then connection establishment and termination. Establish, maintain, and terminates communication session between the devices. Now, I would like to invite my next team member, Kaji Fahim. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shakil. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Myself, Kajima Abrar, with my ID 222156176. Today our present today our presentation topic is TCP and UDP. Now I would like to discuss about TCP, Transmission Control Protocol. TCP is a core protocol in the transport layer of the Internet Protocol Suite. It is a connection-oriented protocol designed to provide reliable, ordered, and error-check delivery of the data between applications running on network devices. Next slide, please. Now I would like to discuss about the key features of TCP. The first feature is connection-oriented communication. Establishes a connection between sender and receiver before transmitting data using a three-way handshake process. The second features is reliable data transfer. Ensures data packets are delivered error-free, in order, and without duplication. If packets are lost or corrupted, TCP retransmit them. The third feature is sequencing. Assigns sequence numbers of packets, ensuring that data is reassembled in the correct order at the destination. The fourth feature is error detection and recovery. Uses checksum to detect errors in the data and requests uh, re, uh, retransmission if errors are founded. The fifth feature is flow control. Prevents the sender from overwhelming the receiver by using mechanisms like sliding window protocol. The sixth feature is congestions protocol. Adjust the rate of data transmission based on network condition to prevent congestions. The seventh feature is full duplex communication. Allows simulation data exchange between sender and receiver. Now I would like to my next teammate MD Sabbir Imun to continue the presentation. Thank you, sir.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I am MD Sabir Hossain. My ID is 222-156068. Now I will discuss about how TCP works. There are three-way handshake, synchronizing the sender request to stabilize a connection. Synchronize acknowledgement. The receiver acknowledges the request. Acknowledgement. The sender confirms the acknowledgement and the connection is established. Applications of TCP. TCP is used in applications where reliability is critical, such as web browsing, HTTP, HTTPS, email, SMTP, IMAP, SOP3. File transfers, FTP, remote access, SSH, Telnet. Also, there is some limitations of TCP. Higher overhead, the mechanism for reliability and error checking. Increased processing and bandwidth requirements. Slower performance. Compared to UDP, TCP is less efficient for real-time applications. Insufficiency in broadcast multicast. TCP is not suitable for one-to-many communications. Thank you. Now my next teammate, Mirza Onno, will discuss the next.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Mirjana Prokta, student ID 222156338. So my presentation part is UDP. UDP means User Diagram Protocol. UDP is a fast way to for computers to send data. It doesn't check if the data arrives or it is correct. So it's quicker but less reliable. It used for things like games, video calls, and live streams, where speed is more important. Next slide, please. So, the key features of UDP. Number one, connectionless communication. Does not establish a connection before sending data, reducing overhead and latency. Number two, no reliability mechanism, does not ensure delivery, order, or error connection of packets. Number three, low overhead, minimal protocol structure, making it faster and more efficient. Number four, broadcasting and multicasting, supports one to many communications, making it suitable for services like video, like live video or audio streaming. Number five, checksum for error detection, provides basic error detection for data integrity but does not perform error recovery. Next slide, please. Now, some advantages of UDP. Number one, speed, faster than TCP due to the absence of connections, setup, and error checking mechanism. Number two, low latency, ideal for real-time applications like streaming or online gaming. Number four, efficiency, minimal overhead, ensure efficient use of bandwidth. And number four, multicasting support, uh, sending data to multiple receptions or multiple receivers simultaneously. So it was my part, sir. Our next team member, Sanjay Ahmed Topu, will present. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. This is Tanjid Ahmed Topu with ID 6223. Now I'm going to discuss about some comparison between TCP and UDP. In the case of reliability, UDP is unreliable, meaning that it does not guarantee the delivery of packets. If a packet is lost or corrupted during the transmission, UDP does not retransmit it. In the other hand, TCP is reliable because it ensures packets are delivered in the order and without errors. Lost or corrupted packets are retransmitted. In the second case, the connection type, UDP is connectionless protocol, meaning no prior setup is needed before the transfer. These limitations overhead and allows for faster communication. On the other hand, TCP is connection-oriented protocol that established a connection between sender and receiver using a three-way handshake before the transmitting data. In the case of error detection, UDP provides basic error detection like checksum, but it does not handle error correction. If a packet is lost, the application has to handle it or discard the data. On the other hand, TCP uses comprehensive error detection algorithm and many mechanisms like checksum, acknowledgements, and retransmission. Speed. UDP is faster because it has no connection setup, acknowledgement, or retransmission mechanism. In the other hand, TCP is slower due to its overhead or connection setup, also error handling and reliability mechanism. In the case of overhead, UDP has low overhead because it does not establish connections, and TCP has high overhead due to connection establishment. Lastly, the applications. We use commonly UDP for streaming, gaming, or voice over the IP calls, and we use TCP for file transfer, email, web browsing, and many more. The importance of transport layer protocol. Transport layer protocols are indispensable for providing reliable, efficiency, and seamless communication between devices and application. They bridge the gap between the application layer and network layer, ensuring that data is transmitted in the way that meets the requirement of modern network applications. Thank you, sir, for giving us the opportunity to present our presentation. Assalamu alaikum, sir.